Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Map Talks Episode 10, Multimedia in the Esports and Gaming. Now, this webinar is brought to you by the Multimedia Arts Association of the Philippines, or MAP. MAP is the first ever professional organization in the Philippines for multimedia arts, and it hopes to represent, empower, and connect multimedia individuals all over the country. We still have a lot of incoming events and opportunities in store for both MAP members and non-members. In the near future, we will also be opening our doors to member registration for you to have access to exclusive perks, so watch out for that. For more updates, you can follow us on our social media channels with the username @MAAPOfficial. Now, this webinar is made possible and accessible by our partner, Digital Guru Tutorials. Digital Guru Tutorials is an online platform that offers free tutorials in Tagalog about photography, video or film, 3D animation, multimedia, and technology. So for more information, follow Digital Guru on Facebook @Digital Guru Tutorials. We would also like to give a special mention to one of our partners in MAP, Unli Web Hosting. Run blogs and websites without managing servers. Now, for our episode today, our speaker, RD Rogacion, is a creative entrepreneur and brand strategist that specializes in esports and gaming, with over 4 years of experience under his belt. He took up multimedia arts and sciences at Mapua University, formerly known as Institute of Technology, and has since taken roles in digital marketing and graphic design. RD started his journey in esports as a freelance passion project in 2006. Eventually, he was able to evolve from a freelancer into a small studio. Through their company Overdrive Studios, they were able to serve clients such as Red Bull Philippines and Malaysia, AirAsia, Esports, GrabFood Philippines, and work on projects such as Cibol, the national esports team for the SEA Games 2019. A lifelong gamer, they have translated their hobby into a design company that services gamers worldwide. You can check out their work at overdrive.gg or in facebook.com/esportoverdrive, and also on Instagram. Okay, now if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat boxes below. We have a Q&A in the chat boxes. We will try to answer all of these after RD's talk. Now, please give a warm welcome to our speaker, Mr. RD Rogacion. RD?
Hey guys, hello? Can you hear me? Hi
Yes,
guys, my name is...
RD.
Hi
Hi,
sir.
good afternoon. Good afternoon, RD. Thank you, Miss Hannah. By the way, this is Melvin, also from MAAP as well. And as what Miss Hannah mentioned, we have our very, very special guest, Naks, very special guest from Overdrive Studios, none other than RD Rogacion.
Hi
There.
sir.
So, RD, kamusta? Yes.
I'm doing great.
Kamusta
It's
muna?
medyo
Yeah.
malamig ngayon kasi it's raining outside. So,
Right,
ayun.
right. You're in Cavite now, no? Tama ba? You're in
Mhm.
Cavite. Okay.
Yeah, Bacor.
Okay. And then tawag dito. So how's it going? Like I haven't heard from you for like I don't know, 5 years la, 'di ba, since you graduated from Mapua. RD's
Actually, yeah.
my former student from Mapua from Multimedia Arts and Sciences, formerly Mapua Institute of Technology. So yeah, kamusta? How are you?
Yeah, so yun nga, we haven't talked since graduate
Yes.
ako ng college 12, which is like
Oh,
2015 kasi maaga ako natapos, no?
I know.
So, ayun. So, after that, kasi I've tried to pursue one path lang, which is gaming, and it led me
Yeah.
to multiple
Oh.
multiple avenues then. So,
Kasi
ayun.
I remember yung track yung track mong kinuha is that 3D animation. So
Oh,
I was expecting that you'll be in the animation industry, but it's it's still the same. I mean, we're still in the same multimedia path, no?
yeah.
And I'm so proud and so happy na, nandito ka sa industriya na to pa rin hanggang ngayon, which is so good. I'm happy. That's why I invited you. Right. So yun. So what happened? Sige nga, kwentuhan mo kami from way back, no? From probably I don't know, from starting with college, bakit nag-multimedia arts ka?
Right.
Or ano
Sige.
ba talaga yung plan mo before when you graduated from high school? Ano ba yung college course mo dapat na iti-take?
Right. So actually, siguro my whole life was geared
Yeah.
towards pursuing a career in gaming to some degree. No, kasi parang ever since naman I've been playing a lot of games since my childhood days. And
Really?
then it led up to spending most of my time in high school playing
Wait
games,
lang.
different
Anong
kinds of
games yung
games.
piniplay mo? Sorry. Ano mga games yung
We
piniplay mo
used to have
dati?
a lot of consoles before, so we have the Genesis, may family computer kami, and
Oh.
then it led to the PlayStations, the Dreamcast. Tapos ayun, parang I never see myself doing anything else but gaming. So parang I want to pursue something that's gaming related in college then.
Right.
So ayun, when I tried to apply for college, I haven't seen any college that's that has a gaming track. Except siguro CSB, like, pero kasi mahal dun eh. Pero yun. Tapos I saw Mapua nga kasi my brothers are also Mapuan. So we all finished Mapua then.
Mhm.
Tapos I saw there's a multimedia course na that has a specialization na parang there's a career track that says game development, game design.
Right. Right.
So knowing my naive self na parang okay, this might be something that I want to do.
Mhm.
So I tried to apply. And if you've experienced applying in Mapua or you've experienced studying in Mapua, you'll realize na madali lang entrance exam pero mahirap umalis. So,
Okay.
ayun,
Ah.
I went to college, I took up multimedia arts and sciences nga, and then you're one of my professors nga nun, no? So
Yes. Yes.
I specialize in 3D animation.
Mhm.
And then as I was doing animation, I've noticed a lot of challenges kasi, especially hardware-wise resources, 'di ba? Ang
Mhm.
hirap gumawa ng maayos na work,
Right.
especially if you don't have the tools for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
right.
parang nangyari siya until graduate ako. So I graduated and then I tried to apply for gaming companies. So literally yung plano ko pagka-graduate ko, maghanap ako ng game companies to apply. And then I eventually got into one. So I got
Like,
into one of the GDAP
yeah.
companies nga.
Okay, under GDAP. Like
Oo, one
what
of
kind
the
of
companies doon.
sorry. What kind of like company na gaming are you pursuing? Like anong department or ano dapat yung papasukin mo doon? What kind of work
Dapat
yung
3D talaga eh.
Oo, kasi ako din
Kasi yun yung
expect ko talaga.
specialize ko before, 'di ba?
Exactly.
Kasi
Right,
doon
right.
ako nag-elective, doon kayo naging
Yes,
prof.
yes.
Tapos 3D talaga. Pero as it turns out, I think my portfolio wasn't good enough for the 3D role. So
Mhm.
wala tumanggap sa akin nun. But I ended up doing a work pa rin. I ended up having a job pa rin in the industry ng gaming.
Okay.
Pero what I did there was mostly graphic design lang. So
Mhm.
lots of UI, lots of posters, lots of mga stuff na ganun, logos, branding. So doon ako nagsimula. So when it comes to like the graphic design part of my career.
Pero yung
Kasi,
graphic design, it's your hobby or or marunong ka na talaga ever since or you're into logo kasi yun na nga parang I was wondering lang from animation, ibig sabihin nun talagang may passion ka na rin for design. Tama ba?
um,
Paano nangyari yun? Like or you were practice during that time? Na practice ka when you were
Kasi when we had the multimedia course, di ba, I specialize in animation nga, but we also learned all these things along the way.
correct,
So parang
correct.
nagamit ko pa rin siya like logo design,
Yun.
graphic
Okay.
design, web, di ba? So na-practice ko pa rin yung mga other roles ko.
I
Plus,
see.
like, I got some freelance gigs din na parang it requires you to do these things na hindi naman 3D. Kasi 3D is a specialized skill that
Yes.
you have, no?
That's right.
So, like, you can only get into like specialized roles and specialized companies that do that. So parang I had to do something else just
Mm.
to improve my skills. So I ended up doing graphic design because yun din yung parang it's not as resource intensive as like
Mhm.
video or 3D, 'di ba?
Or animation, correct.
Or
Yeah.
animation. Ayun.
I see. Okay, nice. Oh, so from there, ano nangyari? From those companies from GDAP, you
Ayun.
did a lot of projects ba? Ano ba nangyari
I
during?
actually just lasted for a month kasi it ended up being like an extended internship.
Okay.
So I was in Alabang nun.
Mhm.
Tapos parang I left na kasi parang it's not worth it. So medyo
Okay.
nag-sour lang yung feeling ko sa gaming industry at the time. But so yun. So during that time na I think why did I pursue then gaming kasi parang I was also starting to play a lot of games na nun. Like,
Mhm.
parang mas naging aware na ako sa ginagawa ko so nilalaro ko din. As
Okay.
ayun. So I stopped working for like that GDAP company nga. Tapos I shifted my gears toward like a corporate world. So I worked in Makati as a digital marketing associate or specialist. So yun yung ginawa ko like during a year, over the year.
Ano yung work mo doon? Is it design pa din? Are you doing
Yun naman
design?
yung mostly design heavy na. So parang
Okay.
I entered that company without like a solid, parang hindi siya super ganda na portfolio pa. Parang ano pa siya. parang it's an entry-level portfolio when you see it,
Right.
diba? So like crude logos, crude layouts, pero you can see like there's a passion in it. There's a potential in it nga.
Correct.
Tapos, ayun, I entered that company, I passed the application tsaka yung practical.
Mhm.
Tapos, ayun, that's where I learned how to like do client work nga kasi yung department namin also doubled as another company. So, para siyang marketing company pero it's his own company din na parang ginagawa namin we do client work. So,
Correct.
ano lang kami, tatlo lang kami doon sa team. So, parang I also handle yung accounts na so, parang ano na rin siya. Parang mini company na kami nun. So, yun.
Doon ka mas na-expose kumbaga sa lahat
Yeah.
ng client work, sa lahat ng mga major projects, parang ganon.
Client work,
Alright.
major projects. Tsaka siguro the way I present myself now kasi parang yung mga nakakausap ko nun matatanda na rin eh. So parang doon ako natuto maging medyo tito ganun.
Okay.
Ayun.
So kumbaga parang doon mo natutunan na mag-deal with different ages, right? From different
Yes.
clients, from different character, ganyan. So I
Yes.
see. All right, that's good. Okay, so from there, what happened? Paano nangyari si Overdrive Studios?
Right.
Malapit na ba tayo doon?
Actually ito na yun. This is the
Sige.
part where
Go.
So this was in 2015 or 2016. 'Di ba I
5 years
graduated
ago. Yeah.
2015, 'di ba?
Yes.
Tapos June 2016 like I'm at a year na sa digital marketing job ko. There is this huge Dota LAN. There's a huge stadium event sa Mo Arena. That's a Dota tournament called the
Okay.
Manila Major. So if you're not familiar with the Manila Major or
I've
like
heard
Dota
about
2,
that. Yeah. Manila Bay.
so
This is
it's
one of
a
the biggest, right?
yeah. So Dota is basically yung parang Mobile Legends nga siya. It's a
Mm.
MOBA pero Dota is one of the OG na computer games out there na parang ano siya 5v5 strategy tapos you control a hero, right? That's pretty much Dota. Tapos there was a tournament back in 2016 called the Manila Major where it's an international level tournament na there's a lot of teams and then doon ako na-expose sa esports scene. Parang doon ako na-expose sa mga tao sa industry and then parang this is something that I wanted to do kasi it's also gaming but it's a sector na parang this might be the one thing that parang ito yung sector na parang gusto ko talagang i-pursue. Kasi iba yung game development and design na aspect ng gaming and then when you venture to esports iba rin siya, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Kasi,
Pero during that time, nag-a-attend ka na rin ng mga conferences, right? You were attending or hindi ka pa ganun ka-active?
Ano siya? Part of my siguro parang homework ng college, may isa kaming subject na documentary. Tapos yung topic namin esports.
Okay.
So, ginawa ko lang siyang palusot sa totoo lang para maglaro. Pero one of the things that we did was actually visit esports events, interview esports players. So, during that time, na-expose na ako sa industry and ano yung nandun. Tapos, parang late ko lang siya na-realize na parang okay na rin pala to. This is something that I can pursue full-time or like for a living.
I see. That's nice. Okay, so from there, from being inspired and being exposed to these community and conferences nga, what happened? I mean, how did you come up with your own parang brand or your own, like are you nag-freelance ka ba? What happened?
Right.
What happened during that time?
So, as soon as the event ended, the Manila Major, kasi ano yun eh, it's a 6-day event. So, Tuesday siya nag-start, tapos Sunday natapos.
Okay.
Pumunta ako ng event ng Thursday, so naka-leave na ako sa office. So medyo medyo funny story nga 'to eh.
Yeah.
Nag-leave ako sa office and then bumalik na ako after the event, so that's the Monday. So medyo na-inspire ako kasi I went back to my desk kasi I usually work early. Pumapasok ako na maaga. Tapos parang gumawa lang ako ng logo ng something. Wala pa siyang meaning, wala pa siyang kahit ano. Parang gumawa lang ako ng bilog ng logo, which ended up being the Overdrive logo that you see today. I think you should show that anywhere. Pero yun na yung naging logo niya. Tapos basically, ginawa ko siyang freelance pseudonym kasi yung Overdrive na name, there's like an RDR nga sa gitna.
Yes,
Tapos
yeah.
parang ginawa ko lang siya Overdrive na word. Tapos ayun, I got some esports clients from friends na na-recommend ako and then I did some pro bono work of course just to get my name out there na para makilala din nila ako. Then it built up from there. Tapos back in September 2016, someone offered me a full-time job in esports, which is called PESO. Si PESO naman yung Philippine Esports Organization.
Yeah.
So sila yung local partner ng Manila Major na yun. Parang ganun.
Okay.
So they offered me a full-time graphic design position in esports that allowed me to leave my full-time job sa digital marketing. And
Yun
then
yung sa
doon na
Makati.
nagsimula yung, oo.
Mm, mm.
Tapos dito na nagsimula yung career ko talaga in esports.
Nice, nice.
So yeah,
Okay. So that was like ano ba? 3 years ago? 2, 3,
that was 4 years ago.
4 years ago, right? Okay. So ano yung mga work mo doon? I mean, how did you parang work with Peso, right? Tama ba?
Yeah, peso.
Yeah. How did ano yung
So,
mga projects and all during that?
okay. So one of the things that we did nga sa Peso as part of yung introduction ko sa esports scene, no, I would have shown work kaso wala ata dito sa drive ko. Pero we were handling yung creatives ng Inquirer Esports. Basically, it's an esports vertical by Inquirer.net.
Yeah.
So parang ano siya, lahat ng creatives, lahat ng graphics na ako gumawa. And then during that time, I was also balancing yung Overdrive Studios nga, which is yung freelance pseudonym ko. Kasi naging dalawang separate entity siya eh. So I was doing projects such as yung ano, I think sa screen dito, may pinakita kayong isang logo, yung kanina, which is like the Clutch Gamer na triangle. So
Okay.
that's one of the projects that I've done back in 2016. Tapos ayun, so other than that, one of my first events actually while I was starting my esports career was a LAN event. So a LAN event is basically a live event, stadium event in Skydome na medyo pumalpak pa. Kasi
Okay.
I had no experience whatsoever pa in handling production and handling like technical aspects. So medyo pumalpak pa yung event na yun.
Pero ikaw
Yun.
yung nag-handle nun.
Yeah,
Parang ikaw yung...
creatives, yung production. Kasi parang ano eh, parang pumasok ako sa apoy kaagad eh. Kasi di ko alam yung nangyayari. So sobrang bilis ang pangyayari and I had to learn on the fly.
And I think kasi alam din nila na multimedia arts graduate ka. So,
Oo.
di ba? Parang automatic na, ay, alam mo na kagad yan. Di ba?
Yeah.
Parang you know what to do. Okay. Okay. And then what happened after that?
Ayun, and then I think during that time kasi yung peso was yung mga people inside peso had to leave kasi they were trying to build a new company which is called Tier 1 and then doon ako pumasok and then sinama nila ako. And if you're familiar with Tier 1 Entertainment, it's
Yes.
like a talent agency in esports gaming with like sila Alodia Goshing Piao. And
Right.
I did the logo. So ako gumawa ng logo nun.
Okay.
Ayun, and even like the branding and the look of it, ako yung gumawa nun. So ayun, ano pa ba? So that was 2017 to 2019 actually. So until 2019, doon ako sa Tier 1. I was their art director essentially.
Sa Tier
Yeah.
1. Oh. So,
Yeah.
tagal din That's 3 years, right? That's for 3 years.
Yeah. Like
Okay,
2017
pero,
to 2019 yun siya.
during that time. Pero yung overdrive mo, nandoon pa rin. I mean,
Nandoon pa rin siya kasi sa akin yun eh.
you're still parang getting, you're working and at the same time, you're getting clients, tama ba? You're getting
Yes.
clients for your own brand, for your own company. So how was it? How did you deal with that? I mean, parang inisip ko pa lang parang ang bigat na
Ang
nung
dami.
ginagawa mo. Ang daming ginagawa, correct.
Ang
How did
dami.
you deal with that, RD?
I think, ano siya,
Or dahil sanay ka lang sa multitasking? Dahil sa
actually,
mapuno.
sanay na ako sa multitasking. Like, I think nasanay ako the fact na we have to work fast and we have to work
Yes.
in quality pa rin, di ba? Kasi
Correct.
hindi naman siya, like, you're trying to save the time of the client. So, kailangan mabilis ka rin mag-work.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
ayun.
Okay.
Tapos, siguro, when it comes to balancing it, I think, I'm thankful kasi hindi ako pinapagalitan masyado kasi I try to do my job naman. But I do work a lot of insane hours minsan. Like, I used to work 18 hours a day nga when it comes to like balancing these two things. Kasi flexible din yung time ng isang company ni
Okay.
Tier 1 nun eh. So
Yeah.
I can work anytime. So parang super flexible hours. Tapos the fact na the industry that I am in, medyo weird pa yung time zone kasi we operate at night mostly. Kasi
Right.
western yung ginagawa namin. Tapos minsan weekends are also affected. So ang day off namin is actually Monday.
Okay. So, nakakapaglaro ka pa ba during that time? That's
Yun, during that
hours,
time,
right?
hindi masyado.
Oo.
Hindi masyado.
Medyo, kasi you're mostly designing, right? You're mostly dealing with clients.
Ang
Tama ba?
weird nun. I think when I open the game, is for me to research about it, take
Right.
screenshots, and then design over it sometimes. So
Mhm.
parang ganun yung ginagawa namin. Kasi part of what we do is also like production nga ng games or like game tournaments. For example, if I have to think of something for Dota, I have to open Dota 2. Pero hindi ko siya pwede laruin kasi I have
Correct.
to research about it. I have to like take a screen cap of it, like design something lang.
Hindi ka pwede makisali.
Di ako pwede di ako
Hindi
makalaro.
ka makalaro.
Oo.
I see. Okay. All right. So how was it? I mean, yun nga, after that, after tier 1, paano na? How did the Overdrive Studios evolve and how did it
Right.
come up with, what we have right now?
Right. So back in 2018 naman. So ito na yung kwento of how I left, right?
Okay.
So in 2018, there was a tournament in Malaysia that's called the Kuala Lumpur Major naman siya. It's like Manila Major pero nasa Malaysia siya. So seeing na I had friends since mga kliyente ko yung mga taga-ibang bansa, I flew
Contact
by.
mo na rin. Contact mo
Contact ko na
din.
rin. So I
Tama,
flew
naging
by and then met some people na parang interesado sa work ko, sa akin mismo.
Right.
And then some people actually offered a job in Malaysia kaso parang I was
Oh.
afraid of like leaving the country altogether. Pero parang in hindsight sana umalis na lang, no? Business na
Pero
nangyari
taas mo
ngayon,
na pala dati eh.
Oo.
Right, okay.
Tapos ayun, but I did had the next best thing nga was I met a few partners who were my former partners now na parang they're interested in building Overdrive as a company, which I haven't thought of except for that time lang. Parang hindi ko siya naisip na posible pala maging kumpanya si Overdrive talaga. Kasi I've been presenting myself as like a one-man studio but not as an actual company except for that time. So parang they're interested in like bringing new businesses in, bringing new clients in, making Overdrive like a sustainable business.
Correct.
And then it gave me courage kasi parang these people know my worth versus like back in the Philippines. So parang I made a choice of leaving my full-time job na rin.
Okay.
Yun.
Okay, sige. Wait, may nag-chat kasi sa akin. Okay, yeah, I saw it already. Yeah, okay. So that's it. Like from there, you're getting more clients now. How was it? Like lalo na ngayon, no? With the ongoing pandemic. How does your studio? How does it work right now? Or how do you get projects and all right now during this time?
I think for the pandemic, our industry is one of the more active ones kasi all of our work can be done online. Since it's a gaming industry, so everyone can just play games and then everyone can just make their own tournaments if they have like the resources for it. So for us, since we're a creative studio, a lot of clients are actually coming to us right now for consultation, tournament creation, like branding the tournaments as well. So ayun yung ginagawa namin. So we're ironically more busy now than like the usual normal.
Oh, that's good. Okay, at least, right? And these are continuous projects na hanggang within the year and the incoming years na pa ba? Naka-partner na kayo, which is okay. That's nice. And you're ano ba? Like your studio now is tawag dito, registered naman na to, no? Tama?
Yeah.
It's a full studio. You're hiring people, I think. Kasi may nabasa ako dati na post.
We just finished our hiring round this time. So we got a few more designers in our team.
Okay. But do you have like an office right now or parang virtual muna halos lahat? What's
right
happening?
now, napigil yung plano namin on like getting the physical space kasi nagka-pandemic nga.
Correct.
And then we realized if this can work, baka we might do a semi-permanent office space, semi-permanent work from home. Baka ganun isipin namin since we can do our work online naman.
Totoo, tama. And halos lahat naman ng companies ganun na rin naman yung ginagawa.
Yeah.
So habang wala pang solusyon dito, we're going work.
Mga 2 years pa ata eh.
Huwag naman sana, di ba? Pero yeah, mukhang work from home tayo lahat, no? Okay. All right. I think RD, if you have any like presentation, maybe you can share it with us para lang you can discuss it. Okay lang ba if you can share yung mga previous logos mo siguro para lang we can see like
baka I can share siguro more about the industry. I think
sure. Go ahead.
Okay might not have an idea. Tsaka sige. Sharing my screen now.
Sige lang.
So, ayun. Can you see my screen ba?
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I'll just share a few points, no?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, why multimedia and esports is important? So, number 1, esports right now is a spectacle. So, hindi siya parang competition lang kasi competition can happen anywhere, 'di ba? Like if you have competing teams that can happen. Pero the magic and the beauty of esports kasi is you can create your own presentations. You can create your own spectator sport. It's a spectator sport basically.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is visually driven. But that being said, my point number 2 is visuals are the first thing you see in esports. Right now, pag nakikita nyo pa lang yung graphics dito, yung mga photos dito,
Mm-hmm.
you can see na parang, you can feel the hype, you can feel the energy because of how it's visually
Correct.
presented, right?
Right.
You feel the excitement, very colorful siya, very passionate yung crowd, very passionate yung people. And then there are also advancements in technology nga. As you can see here, one of the slides sa baba is actually an ongoing tournament right now sa China. So there's like a bubble ngayon parang sa NBA where they flew in all the teams right now. Tapos state of the art technology helps the presentation. This is a world championship for League of Legends. Tapos ayun. And then tapos number 3, the design and visuals kasi helps tell the story of the industry. Since esports right now is very young, it's also our job to help tell the story or like the history of esports visually. So ayun, that's one of the few points that I want to share. Tapos I'll share another screen siguro, no.
And esports, I think, no, add ko lang, I think they're planning of adding that to the Olympics. May parang nabasa akong ganon. Tama ba ako?
Yes.
Oo, di ba? It's a big industry. Nagulat din ako parang Olympics talaga.
Yeah. Nung recently last year lang there was esports was in the Southeast Asian Games. So
Yes.
parang it was used to to gauge na parang kung okay ba siya for Olympics.
Right.
So ayun. Next one siguro I'll share with you guys some of the work that we've done kasi I think it's important to like show what we've done as a studio.
Yes,
And then
please.
some of the things I want to share. Medyo
Sige lang.
So siguro you can ask questions and then along the way. Pero I'll share with you one of my favorite work that we've done as a studio. So this was from last year. This was the Southeast Asian Games team na pinadala natin for the esports category. So basically our esports category kasi for the Southeast Asian Games had Mobile Legends, had Dota 2, Arena of Valor, Hearthstone, Tekken, and I forgot the other game, StarCraft 2. Yun. If you're familiar with those games, then great. Tapos we were tasked to do the branding for the national team.
Oh, nice.
So basically, 'di ba, kung may gilas, ito yung Sibol. Parang ganun yung approach namin dito.
Ito yung version on for esports. Right.
So we had to do all the logos, we had to make sure kung tama ba yung brand story niya. Even the name, I had to think of the name kasi parang I want the brand to show na parang we're a growing industry na palaki pa lang kami. So we chose the name Sibol, which is
sumisibol, parang ganon. Right.
That's yun. And like you can see like the logo is actually like an amalgam of like the Philippine name kasi PHI siya. So parang ganun yung pagkagawa namin. And then ayun, this is how it was implemented in different case studies, different use cases. Tapos I think ginamit din siya for like the event itself, even the jerseys were produced. Tapos ayun. So ganun siya. One of the things siguro na and one of the things that we're proud of is people don't call it Team Philippines, but they call it Sibol, which is the team itself. So parang nagkaroon siya ng recognition as the brand.
As a brand na mismo, no? Matanong ko lang, RD, can you go back to sa Sibol ulit?
Yeah.
Yan. Like, how did you come up with, I know that parang from the word Sibol, it's starting, sumisibol and all of that.
Yep.
Like, how did you think about all these parang elements or how the overall logo nga? Like, ano yung pinaka-inspiration mo behind it?
Honestly, I just want to do better than the Southeast Asian Games logo.
Okay.
Kasi yung mga bilog na yun. Pero siguro
correct.
one of the things kasi was when I do logos, I think kailangan simple siya, number one, kasi we have to apply it to different media. 'Di ba? Kailangan printed siya, kailangan animated, kailangan ganun. Tapos kailangan it also reflects yung ano ba yung gusto nating ikwento sa team.
Right.
When in this case, for Sibol, we want to show na parang we're a growing industry and then we're trying our best to show na gaming can be a good career path then for you guys. So, ginawa namin tong Sibol na brand for this purpose then.
Yeah, I like it. And ito naman parang when you presented this, parang everyone agreed and everyone liked it, no? Kasi so far I like what I'm seeing and it represents nga that team, no? Kasi yun yung sinasabi mo kanina. And ito naman hindi naman to nagkaroon ng parang revisions and all. Alam mo naman
Hindi na.
sa wala na, no?
Medyo
Kasi
press on time na rin kasi
correct. Yeah.
yung part na yun eh. So we had to choose it. We had to make the team name na rin. So medyo
Nice.
swerte na lang din sa sa timing, but ayun.
And it was used naman eventually, which is very good. Nice. Okay. All right.
Ayun. So this is one of the things that I'm very proud of to share.
Mm.
So ayun.
Okay.
Ano pa ba? I think yun muna yung for like the brand part, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Sige lang. So by the way, if you have any questions, probably later, no, you can just type it in, or you can chat later, or ask questions later after this talk, no, para RD can answer it na lang. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So any other tawag dito you wanna add with Overdrive Studios now, or
What do you want to know exactly pa?
yung like yung kahit yung past work mo, like halimbawa, sige, let's go to your I think I saw your are you there, Miss Hannah? Can we can we post the can we share the posters that we did
Oh,
we
okay.
posted?
Just for a
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Wait lang.
Para rin makita ng mga viewers natin, like ayan, how you parang si RD, how he got involved, or the studio got involved with these projects. Ayan.
Ayan.
Actually, there are a lot more in his website. I
Kaya
just
nga eh.
chose random things that it's
Oh,
like.
Actually,
yun yung RD
medyo-
yun. I think you can discuss something about itong mga nakikita natin ngayon. Kasi medyo
sige,
madami yata
let me open the website then para
Sure,
mas
sure,
clear,
go
no?
ahead.
Okay,
So,
so you
what
can
do
share
you
your
want-
screen
Yeah,
for
sige.
website.
So part of our one of the things that we do kasi sa studio is we basically yung core service namin is design, right?
Yeah.
So we can design for any type of project. For example, we did esports apparel. We actually supplied and like designed the apparel for the national team nga, as mentioned earlier. So lahat ng jackets nila, track pants,
Did you
jerseys.
did you design that as well? Did you do that?
Yeah, dinesign namin to. And then we had the
Nice.
partner
Alright.
who's also the manufacturer of the look.
So parang sila na yung pinaka-supplier ng lahat ng apparels, parang gano'n
Yeah,
ang
so we
nangyari.
fitted the team then.
Correct. Nice. Okay.
Basically, dito naman next one was for a project for a team called TNC. I think you're familiar with them. They're the ones who won millions of pesos playing Dota 2.
Yes.
So one of the things that we did was we actually helped design your team kit nila.
Okay.
So this was 2 years ago. So ginamit nila ito 2 years ago, and thankfully nanalo sila. And they went to Seattle with this. So nadala nila sa US tong suot nila. So yun.
Nice. All
And
right.
this was another team naman na we designed for back in 2017. It's called Execration. So sinuot nila sa World Championship tong look nila dito. So ito yung mga suot nila. So we had to try to do something different every time. Ayun na,
Okay.
yung mga suot nila.
Nice.
So this was last year naman. This was in China naman. So we had a client who has a Chinese team na parang it's called King Gaming, and then we outfitted their team for the World Championship then.
So
Ayun.
lahat to, no? Ayan, pati to, Eagles.
Yeah.
Lahat to parang it's under your brand. It's under your studio now, no?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
we also do work for broadcasters kasi for like the tournaments kanina. So,
Right.
example, kanina when you guys are talking about overlays, medyo nakakalita ako kasi that's what I usually do every day talaga. Like making overlays, making designs for like streams and stuff, like decorating the look. Even yung animation ng stream nito, like
Ikaw na
stingers.
din.
Oo. So,
Ah.
so na-apply ko pa rin naman yung mga naturo nyo.
Buti naman.
So, yun, so
Okay.
we've done work for like Overwatch, for Dota 2, and different kinds of then.
Nice. Okay. That's good.
That's
Okay.
it. And then lastly, since uso to ngayon, so we've done work for streamers na rin. So lahat ng overlays for streamers, animations, like we can tell the story from stream startup to like the ending of the stream. So ganun yung ginagawa talaga namin eventually. And then like may animations dito. And so this is what we do usually talaga.
I see. Oo. At saka yan din yung in demand ngayon, syempre, 'di ba?
Oo.
Kasi
At maraming inquiries ngayon nga eh.
right. Okay, that's nice. How about this Red Bull? Ano tong Red Bull? What's this? Is a
Right.
team?
So ano siya? This is for Red Bull Philippines and Malaysia nga. So this was for a FIFA event
Yeah.
that was done. So ito yung pinaka-process na ginawa namin. How did we do the entire logo from scratch? So we had some mood boards here, and then I had to sketch the logo entirely, and it ended up in this one. Tapos ito yung pinaka-ending na logo niya. Oops, sorry. Ito yung pinaka-ending na work niya. So yan.
So kayo na yan. Kayo na yung
Oo,
parang
ako
nag-design.
nagawa nito. So personally, ako gumawa
Nice.
nito and it was a difficult project, I have to say. Kasi medyo tight yung approval process. Especially when you work with different layers of
Correct.
approval.
Yeah.
No?
Nice.
And
Okay.
then ito naman yung counterpart sa Philippines naman. So in the Philippines kasi in Red Bull kasi they have like event cars, di ba? If napapansin nyo.
Mhm.
So we had to brand yung event car. Ito yung lumang logo nila. Tsaka ito yung bago na ginawa namin for them.
Ganda nga.
Ayun. So
Oo,
medyo
mas
mas
maayos
refined
nga
siya
yun.
compared dun sa luma.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
ito, yan.
Nice.
Ayan.
Okay. Ang dami pa. And if you can check his website, or
Kasi
if you
madami
check
rin. Yeah.
Overdrive Studios website, ang daming projects talaga na ginawa.
So we're actually in the middle of updating this kasi dumami na rin yung mga projects
Yung
na
mga
dumaan.
projects.
Oo.
Wow. Okay.
So we're gonna be updating this over the next few months.
That's nice. Ang galing ah. I mean, with all these brands, with all these projects and all, parang, kumbaga, it's a good portfolio, right? It's really a good portfolio. You can get more clients, more contacts. Tama ba? Yun yung nangyayari ngayon
Yes.
eh. Because, you're doing these parang projects nga for them, and mas nakikilala yung pangalan mo as
Yes.
a brand and as a studio nga, di ba? Okay, that's nice. Oh, ang siguro question ko lang din, no? What is the difference between designing kumbaga yung for esports nga, and when you do it for like a regular parang client, or like, let's, hindi ba regular but something not esports related?
Right.
Ano yung ano doon? Like, how do you differentiate that as a designer?
I think sa akin kasi, like in my years of working esports brands, there's like a specific team that they want to follow lagi. For example, if it's gaming, it's dynamic, it's bold, it's loud, di ba? Kasi with any other industry kasi you can like set parameters na talaga eh.
Oo.
Tapos for gaming naman, kailangan ganun siya, kailangan dynamic, kailangan bold, kailangan yung design
Makulay.
mo,
Medyo makulay ng konti.
you have movement in mind din, di
Yes.
ba?
Oo.
Tapos the other thing is kailangan appropriate din siya sa game mismo na ginagawa na wino-work mo. For example,
Tama.
if you're designing for like a Mobile Legends na look,
Yeah.
kailangan alam niyong okay din siya for mobile, okay din yung mga characters ito, appropriate yung pagkakagawa ng graphics and stuff. So
Okay.
ayun siya.
So hindi lang gagawa ka ng parang logo and then dahil trip mo lang or something, or or halimbawa
The
related
fun
sa
part lang
content.
dito is yung research kasi you have to play.
Yes. Yeah. Oo, important. I can imagine, no? Kasi dapat marami kang alam din when it comes to like with the gaming industry and with with
Yes.
esports, kasi hindi naman parang ano yun eh, hindi naman parang ano lang yan, biglaan lang or idea ka lang na ito na kagad, right? You
Yep.
need to do a lot of research. And also you need to deal with the client, or you have to talk with the client, or kung ano man yung, 'di ba, yung gusto nilang pagawa sa iyo, 'di ba? Na related sa game nila.